Well, hello there and welcome to my fourth forecast of the series. This one is all concerning the Cancerian and all their Eastern combinations as we enter the year of the horse on the 31st of January. If you're not sure of your Eastern companion for your Cancerian birth sign, just check my previous videos. I've uploaded quite a few, but there's still some to do with Cancer. Or just message me on here. You'll find out the dates and the years you have to be, and that'll find your Eastern and Western combination. Right, let's get started. As we say, we're going into the year of the horse on the 31st January, goes right the way round to the 18th of February 2015. But, you know, I'm not going to spin you any lines as in, oh, don't go out on a Tuesday, etc. like that. This is just a broad sort of scenario of what the horse year brings for the Cancerian and its combinations, and this is what this is. It's a bit more of a guide, so hopefully this will help and or you know, give you some less worries to think about. Okay, let's start with the top three for the year. This is going to be a particularly good year for the Cancerian horse. Obviously we're going into the horse, so it's going to be an ultra good year for the Cancerian horse. The Cancer, you know, they love to feel secure, they love to have a few quid behind them, you know, because they can tend to worry if they haven't got that security and the security of the home. The horse, the Cancerian horse, is a bit more of a go-getter and a bit more of a person who will travel a little bit more than the average Cancerian, but they still like to know they've got somewhere nice to come home to, everything's secure at home, and they haven't got to worry. So that's a very, very important thing to you know, rest their brain with. And also any sort of projects, business projects that they were thinking of doing, and you're thinking of doing this upcoming year, this is the time to take it on, because it does fortune enterprise and very much, as I say, business wise, or that promotion you were looking for. This is a very good time to really be pushing yourself in the face and make sure you're one of those candidates. It's also going to be a great year for the Cancerian dog. The Cancerian dog, a bit of a born and pessimist and a little bit of a born warrior. Well, this is a year when you're going to feel a lot more at ease with yourself. You're not going to be worrying about your partner too much. You're not going to be sort of anxious, thinking something's going to go wrong. You're going to be a lot more relaxed, and people are going to pick up on this, especially around the home environment and the work environment. You're not going to be so edgy, and you're going to let that lovely sense of humour come out, which all Cancerians have. They do like to have fun, they do like to smile, and as I say, it's going to be a good year financially as well. Cancerian dog will be, you know, it's a good year to save some cash together. Also, we have to go for the Cancerian tiger. It's going to be a great year for them as well. This is the three in the, you know, the third one in the top family, which is going to do well. The Cancerian tiger, they are so good at justice, as we've spoken about. Their justice is very key to them. Everyone getting a fair deal, and this is, you know, the Cancer tiger will feel they're being listened to this year. Any sort of movements or programs they're trying to push through to do with equality, they will be heard, whether it's to do with environmental stuff. Absolutely, this is the year it'll be pushed through, and people will start to listen a lot more readily than they did in the year we've just passed. So that's going to be a great for you three guys. The next three on my list are going to have a very solid year. So, okay, it's not going to be at the peak of, you know, top draw, but it's going to be good, and it's going to be a decent time for you. And the first one we're going to start with is the goat, the Cancerian goat, the very loving and peaceful and beauty orientated Cancerian goat. Well, they're going to find that their sensitivity, which is a very high mixture in them, so, you know, the Cancer, as we know, is very sensitive, can have mood swings. So can the goat, as you know, they could get that little bit of mood on, because they like to sort of go inwards a bit, and this is a year when they find that they can express themselves quite a bit better than normal, and they will be in scenarios where there's no conflict. They don't like conflict at all. and this year will not be throwing up so many quarrels and set twos that they don't really want in their life, and plus it can make them ill. So this is a good time for just a bit of peace and quiet and tranquility, which is music to the Cancerian goat's ears. Also, a fantastic year, well, a solid year for the Cancer pig. You know, the Cancerian pig has had a very tough year we're coming out of. They've had worries about the home, relationships, lots of things. They've actually been doing a bit of comfort spending as well, which is out of character really for the Cancer pig, because they're very watchful that tomorrow, you know, odds are they're going to wake up tomorrow, they're going to need some money. So this is going to be the year where they feel more like themselves. They're getting their house back in order, they feel secure, you know, they've just got that all-round sort of homeliness back in them, whereas they may have had a bit of a wanderlust last year, or, you know, feeling discontented. That can happen, and I say, and when the Cancerian is not at their best, they tend to comfort spend and gets quite self-indulgent and quite, you know, remorse and quite sort of, you know, sentimental, and it tends to lead them into bad ways. Plus, there can be a penchant for alcohol a little when they're in that mode, but not this year. They're going to feel a lot better and a lot more, you know, together. And also, it's going to be a very, very solid year for the Cancerian dragon. The dragon tend to say they always make their own luck, and to a certain extent they do, but there's not going to be the problems in business. There's going to be some real good stuff going on in business. They normally work for themselves, the Cancerian dragon, and they're going to find that, you know, it's going to go smoothly. There's going to be some decent contracts on the horizon, and, you know, alleviating the money. This is all about the money scenario for the Cancer, and that's what makes them happy. Not that they're greedy, I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that security that they go, you know, got some money in the bank, and everyone benefits when the Cancerian's on a flow, especially a Cancerian dragon. It's a generous sign, and everybody benefits. Friends, the family. They're just a lot nicer person to be around when they're not at an anxious, worrying stage where they're thinking, oh, I don't know where the next few quid's coming from. So a good solid year for you guys. The next three I'm going to talk about are going to have a watchful year, in the sense of things could be going wrong in the pipeline, but they've got all the tools to alleviate it. So just go back on all the things that you're good at, and use that resourcefulness of the Cancerian. Close up a little, get that tenacity in, because it could be a tricky year, but hopefully you're going to get through it. And as I say, it's going to be one where you've got your head down a bit more, or your eyes definitely open, thinking, I've got things that's going to go wrong, but just, you know, keep on guard. And the three in this category is, let's start with the Cancerian rooster. They are born worriers, let's be honest. They will, it doesn't take a lot for them to worry about many things, but they're going to have a little cause for worry this year. There's going to be bits and bobs that come in and out of their way. Could be quarrels with inside family, could also be some money problems that they're going to have to keep an eye on there. And okay, the rooster is a fluctuant eastern sign and a companion for the Cancer, so they can be in the money, they can drop out, but it's going to be more of a lean spell. But just sit tight, rely on your tools of sort of being tenacious, staying with the program. Don't lose goal, because, you know, it's a very tenacious combination there, so you have got the tools to get through anything that it does throw at you, to be honest. Also, it's going to be a very tricky year for the Cancerian ox. The Cancerian ox, as we've spoken about, you know, they like to take their time, they like to not be pushed or rushed, they like to they're quite slow with their emotions, they're very deep, but they're very slow with it, and there could be people losing patience with them. Be careful in close relationships here, where it's not so easy to communicate, it's not communicating you, and it could be a point of fact where they say, you know, you've got to express it as best you can. I know it's difficult, Cancer Ops, but, you know, maybe show your partner this, say, bear with me this year, just bear with me, you know, I need that little bit extra time because they do need to plod through the cancer dough. If they feel as though they're under pressure, they don't like it, and they feel, as I say, they feel a bit sort of victimised, and then you can get the woe is me coming out. So we don't want that happening. Okay, so just be watchful, and also your partner around you. Also for the Cancerian monkey, the Cancerian monkey's got to watch for flattery. It's a particularly dodgy one for the monkeys this year, in the sense of there's going to be a bit of false flattery on them, and although the streetwise Cancer monkey, very streetwise, and it does take a lot to trick them, because they're normally in there and they could trick the best of them, but they've got to be wary of a bit of flattery, especially to do with business opportunities, etc. It might not be everything that they're making it out to be, so be very, very wary. I know you're very good with your money, but you're going to have to be ultra, you know, resilient there, and ultra sort of perceptive. And what's the next move? You really trust any business thing you're going to go into, and you've got to really do your homework on that. Okay, it's going to be a tough year for this next three, and when I say tough year, it will bring up the unexpected heartbreaks, situations possibly, complete loss of money, and you know, a lot of troubles with the house. So it's very best if you can, you know, let as many people as you can tell into this, with your family, let your closest friends know. You've always got someone to talk to then, because it's going to be a really trying time for these three cancers. And let's start with the Cancer rabbit. Now, they love their home, that is their castle. They love to be around, you know, cooking, male or female. They love to be, that everybody's happy in that environment and that they're secure. But you may be forced into telling a few white lies to do with financial problems. Be as open as you can. I know the rabbits like to keep the odd little secret and do things their way, and that's fine, but things that could manifest into big worries, it's only going to affect your health if you do that. So be as open as you possibly can. Tell people if you're worried about this, worried about that, because you've got to open up. If you don't open up in this year, you could be heading for big problems later on, especially around Christmas time. Could be some big problems on the horizon for you. Also, it's going to be a very tough year for the snake. We'll come out of the Cancer snake, whereas they've had a bit of a self-indulgent and a good year, very good year for the Cancer snake. It's going to be a little bit more tricky, because there's going to be matters of the heart here. The Cancer snake is a tough cookie when it comes to love. They are very seductive, and they like conquest, and they like to seduce, they like to please as well. This is going to be a year where maybe past relationships have taken their toll on you, and it's going to come back and hit you with a bit of a whammy. So I'd steer clear as best as you can from any romantic involvement. If you're not with the right partner, I would steer clear of that, because it's not a good year for that. You could get some serious heartbreak in that sense, you know, whereas you're normally the predator. Somebody could come along and change that around. So just be very wary if you're looking to meet that certain person. And if you are, stick with my matches I've put down, stick in there, and you know, if you're thinking of having a year off, it might be a very good time to take that year off, recharge those batteries, and get your faith back a little bit. It's going to be very difficult year also for my last one in the issue, the Cancerian rat. Particularly tough time for rat in the year with the horse, notoriously tough. They love their possessions, yes, they love their home, they like their money. All of these could be under, you know, attack and pressure, especially with the house. Again, get the close people around you, letting them know, get talking, because one good thing Cancer rat can do well is they can talk, but get talking about stuff that's deep inside you. That's hard for you, but do it, because you'll find that you don't feel so bad, you know, because you are going to have a rocky year, you know, and you arm yourself with the tools, arm yourself with the people around you get those real close friends that I know you have them, because the rat's very good at socialising as well. Get out there and, you know, and take a bit of pressure off. Have a night out now and then. Have a bit of pressure off when things are thin as though they're getting proper on top. You know, take a little bit of pressure off. Talk to people. Have a dance and lose yourself a little bit, because you're going to have to do that, because you'll be constantly worried otherwise. Okay, well, I wish all the Cancerians all the very best of luck for the Year of the Horse, and please tune in for my next issue. Thank you.